Hello. Can everyone hear me? Yes, everyone comfortable? Get your seats. Sorry for a slightly late start, but we're ready to go. Tonight we have some really interesting short films, both locally and internationally. The first bracket is going to be short films where someone involved in the short film can't exactly be here tonight, but we've actually got them to make little short videos of themselves, stare into the camera and tell us a little bit about the process, the making, why they did it, maybe some little stories behind the films, and then we'll play the short films. The second bracket will be actually local artists, so we'll have the artists get up here. We've got two today showing 3 different films, and they will get up and give us a bit of an introduction, talk about it, do the same thing, but we actually have them here in person. So if you have any questions for them, do the good thing and put up your hand, and I'm sure they'll be happy to answer questions. Otherwise, between each of these brackets, we will have a little break, 15 minutes. You can go get some food and some drinks. This Knox Street Bar is obviously nice enough to let us use this venue. And then please ask some questions in that time if you're too shy to put up your hands. And for the last bracket, we have PhD Dr. Ryan Wittingslow doing a little bit on the, he'd love me saying that, but a little bit on the history of short films, beginning in at the late, or early, what, late 1900s, early, what, 1910, 1920s and all that sort of stuff. So that should be really exciting. So that should probably start at about 9. The first 2 brackets will go from now through till about 9. Anyway, to really kick off the beginning of the event, I would like to invite my colleague, Ryan Burke from Rode Microphones, to give us a little 2 short films that have been entered into this year's My Road Reel competition, which are really fun and really exciting little short films, and he can give you a little bit more of a rundown on exactly what My Road Reel is. Anyway, thank you very much, and please welcome up Ryan Burke to the stage.
Hi guys, thanks Will. Alright, so for those of you who were here last week, you probably know a little bit, last month, geez, time flies, probably know a little bit about the competition already. Basically, My Road Reel is a short film competition that we put on to kind of encourage filmmakers all around the world to actually use the gear that they've been collecting over the years, because even myself personally, I've got a lot of friends that are filmmakers. They often kind of amass gear and rarely do personal projects. So, and the first year that we ran My Road Reel was last year, and we were completely overwhelmed by the amount of entries that we got from abroad, not only locally. The idea with the short film competition is that you submit a short film of 3 minutes in length, 2 minutes in length, I can't remember. 3 minutes in length, up to 3 minutes. Everyone kind of pushes right up to 3 minutes. And in the last competition, we were really, kind of stoked with the amount of entries that we got from all walks of life. And this year we got, even more entries, and anyone who enters has the chance to win a whole ton of gear. And we got some really, kind of powerful entries this year, and this one was a favourite of Will and mine. This is a short film entered by a team from South Africa. It's a really powerful kind of documentary drama about a young boy in South Africa who's, kind of busking and living with poverty. So hopefully you enjoy it.
I'm lucky if I get only 5 seconds, but it's not about the time, it's about the silence. I'm gifted, your standard, no real home, no parents, no school, surrounded by hate, broke and on the hustle, but with faith. Difference is, I choose to see my world differently. I must put upward positively. Well, I try at least. Imagine you could dance to the sound of your fears. Instead of noise, tears, the chaos disappears. Poverty, something that's seen as a disability. But to me, I look at this concrete jungle society and think, surely I'm the one that's free. You will never hear the silence without the noise. Would I want to be doing something else? Never. This is my life, and I'm pretty sure I'll keep dancing forever.
So that entry, we were kind of really blown away, one, by the storyline, and two, just the production value. I think it was, something that we've, really shared on social channels, and they could really use votes in the competition. So if you don't mind heading to myroadreel.com, if you enjoyed it, please just hit the vote button for them to get them up there, because that is one of my personal favourites. I'd love to see it actually win a prize. The next one is actually a little bit of fun. It was produced by someone that works at a TV station, one of the oldest TV stations in the Netherlands. And the really unique thing about this next one was that it was a single shot the whole way through. The choreography is just incredible. I can't imagine how many times it took them to get it right. So this next one is called, and I hope I pronounce it correctly, STILTE OPNAME. Which I believe is something to do with the name of the actual TV studio. But I think it's a fantastic entry, and hopefully you enjoy it.
Hel en verdoemenis. Wij zijn een katholieke radio-omroep. En we gaan de trouwe luisteraars van ons hoorspel niet confronteren met de geluiden van geslachtsgemeenschappen. Als jullie willen branden in hel, dan zoek je maar werk bij de VPRO. En jij, als jouw baan je lief is, dan ga je nu onmiddellijk die walgelijke scènes gaan. Schip!
Ik snap wel dat je op televisie wil, schat. Ik denk alleen niet dat de televisie op jou zit te wachten.
Zoekt ware liefde. Iemand nou de hemelsnaam zien. Kijk, geen kinderen.
Geef jij even de koffie, maar ik kan het niet meer. Ik kan het gewoon niet meer.
Probeer nu iets moois te maken. Ik wil graag de mensen iets meegeven over het leven en de liefde. En alles wat ik hoor is, dat je dit en doelgroep dat. Zo kan het toch niet werken! Hou die zooi uit de buurt. Ik heb in Londen gewerkt, waar ik mensen mocht stenigen als ze me zulke koffie gaven. Oh, Stefan.
Wat? Ja, en wordt er gewerkt, ja?
alles voor de kunst.
Yes.
Niks, nee. Ik denk dat ik morgen een nieuwe baan kan gaan zoeken.
Maar de dienstmeid die zich eerst nog schaamde dat ze nooit had leren lezen, gooide nu alle schaamte van zich af. Eén ding was duidelijk. Voor het eerst in haar jonge leven was zij waarlijk vrij.
En daarmee zijn we aan het einde van dit KRO-programma. Ik wens u verder een prettige zondag voor straks. Smakelijk eten en graag tot ziens.
One great thing about that last film, which Ryan actually didn't touch on, is the older gentlemen at the real end are actually retirees from that from that TV station, and they actually invited them in to be a big part of that project and actually have their own little input. So, as you can see, they had some very interesting input at the end there. Anyway, the next group of guys is a duo called Will and Jesse, and I actually worked with them in Japan when I was over there, and they approached us one day. I was working for a media company, and they asked if they could produce videos free of charge for some events we were putting on. And they were fresh out of art school over in America, film school, and they wanted to just try their wares. And over time they've now built up, as foreigners in Japan, their own independent film company where they're making commercials for businesses, business videos, etc. But in their free time they also like to dabble in new technology, etc. I'll let them explain a bit about their short film, but they've kindly sent us a video of them talking into a camera to explain it. The short film is titled Garbage. But anyway, I'll leave it over to them for now. Please enjoy.
For having us in our feature film, it's really nice to be a part of this thing. Who are we? We are Ice Block. Will and I make up the team Ice Block. We're a Tokyo-based film company, and we've been working in Tokyo for about 5 years now. We do a lot of client work. We do corporate videography, that's the main staple of our cash flow. We do music videos, we do animation, we really do the whole shebang-a-bang of filmmaking. And what you're about to see is our first foray into narrative filmmaking. What we wanted to do was take the skills we've been developing as a client service provider and see if we could make them cross over into narrative film work, into a project that was really ours, and something a little more personal. So, Will, if you'd like to talk about the cinematography, I'd appreciate it greatly.
Yes, I think as Ice Block, we've always tried to bring a narrative structure even to our corporate videos, but this really was a fun thing for us to take those skills and apply them directly to, especially the cinematic side of it. So, using just our basic tools, nailing these basic ideas of, using a slider, using a tripod, using handheld, where to put them, where's the best fit, and also this was the first film that we shot in RAW. So it was a fun thing for us to shoot in RAW, which allowed us to really get in there and do the best color correction we've ever done.
So like the skin tones will probably blow your mind. They're the best skin tones we've ever had in any of our films. Whether or not the film is a success, that's for you to decide as the audience. They're the elements we like, they're the elements we love, and the elements that we wish we could have done better. The one thing that I think I can say was a home run were the actors. I really feel like they fill the screen with entertainment and charisma, and I know there's no bigger cliche than the director saying, oh, the actors were great, the actors were fantastic, but I think you'll probably agree that the directing, the writing, the cinematography, the editing, it's all good, but definitely the best element is the on-screen talent. So, without further ado, we give you Garbage.
Yes, enjoy our garbage.
jodas, puta. This is already, huh? Hey. You scream once, and it'll be your last puta. Shh!
Where is my voice? You're standing right here.
I'm not joking. Comprendivo. You're...
Bedroom cupboard.
Listen, I'm not playing games. Cupboards are in the kitchen. They are boards for the cops.
I don't know what to call it.
Es como una cabinet, drawer, de armoire.
It's not an armoire.
And what did they call it at the store?
I don't know. Some Swedish gibberish.
Stay where I can see you.
Okay. Esto es la oficina. Start from the top.
There are only 3 shelves.
So?
So why can't you just say the bottom, man?
First me, now you're attacking my wardrobe.
What'd you say?
Well, considering you broke into my house, you sure do complain a lot.
Hey, cuidado, chica, yo soy loco.
Okay, you can drop the fake accent. Alright? Jewelry is third person singular. Donde estás la jewelry means where are you, the jewelry? And comprenez-vous, that's French.
Alright, let's get this over with. Where's the good stuff?
What good stuff?
You know, the gold. Something with a rock on it. The good stuff.
That's all in my safe.
You have a safe?
Yes. But most of my holdings are tied up in stock.
Really?
No! I don't have enough money to buy a safe, much less fill it.
Well, this is a pretty nice spread for someone that's broke.
Oh, for Pete's sake, it's government subsidized. Did you do any research?
Casing.
What?
It's called casing when it's a burglary. Research is what you do for an essay.
Okay, you can drop the phony baloney Spanish.
No! An essay, a term paper.
Whatever. I'm gonna put some water on. You want tea?
No, I want jewelry.
You know, gift horse divided by quantity mouth equals take what you can get. Look, I'll make 2 cups. And if they both end up empty, so be it. If not, okay.
You can understand the confusion, right?
Yeah, but if you're dumb, everything's confusing.
Hey, smarty pants. You're the one with a diploma. Doesn't that mean you should have a better job?
A bachelor's in environmental sociology? Well, it seemed like a great idea in the late 90s. But the economy I graduated into, no need for environmental activists. At least I'm trying.
And I'm not?
Well, sure doesn't seem that way.
Well, that's just unfair.
Unfair? You had a gun to my head. That was unfair.
Whoa, you totally misread that. I had no intentions of hurting you. I mean, come on, don't you think I wanted more out of life?
Just so we're clear, you're the only one at this table wondering why you haven't gotten it.
Look, I already said I'm sorry.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Look, I distinctly remember you not saying sorry.
Yeah? How can you remember something that didn't happen? You cannot prove a negative.
Well, I'm positive you didn't say it.
So maybe I thought about it so hard that I thought I said it.
You still haven't said it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
For entering your house.
Uninvited?
Like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus doesn't take stuff from you, he gives you stuff.
All right. I'm sorry for the attempted burglary.
And
for threatening you. With the gun.
You'll have to do.
Can I say something? I want to be a better man than I am. And after talking with you today, I wonder maybe I can be. You realize you and me, this is a perfect setup for a romantic comedy. If you think about it.
Is this your idea of a meet cute? You break into my house,
threaten me with a gun, and try to rob me.
That's unfair.
What's unfair about that?
You left the door unlocked. I didn't have to break anything to get into
Look, you're still
here.
the one in the wrong here. Just stop robbing people.
Burglaring, not robbing.
Burgling, not burglaring.
You sure? I mean, because that...
Are you listening or not?
Okay, you're right.
Look, I need to get on with my day. Hey.
No, you keep it. I'll stick with the guns I was given. No, sit down. You have to get ready. I saw myself in quite easily. I can see myself out, you know. Man, tough crowd. If you haven't noticed, there's some cameras or phones around the place, and they're acting as cameras. We're actually live streaming tonight. So hello, Mum and Dad, and also Jesse and William probably just heard you clap for their film, so I'm sure they say thank you very much. The next film we have is by an Australian director. His name's Michael Condon, and he lives up in Brisbane. I actually met him once again in Japan. He was an editor for a business magazine over there, and he was in Japan for many years, and he decided to follow his dream of film production. He came back to Australia, moved from Brisbane down to Sydney for several months, and went to Afters here. So he's also been nice enough to make a little production, a little introductory video, and it goes into a little bit about his experience at Afters, because maybe some people here are interested in the program they've got there. And talks a little bit about the film that he's made, which is called The Farm. And he explains a bit about the intent of The Farm himself, so I won't say that again. But I think you'll find it funny, as I did, that he chose to shoot his little introduction video on a mobile phone with vertical, considering he's a cameraman and director himself. Anyway, I'll leave it up to him to explain the rest. Please enjoy.
Hi everyone, at Not a Feature Film, this is Michael Condon, the writer-director of The Farm. Probably the only thing more awkward than getting interviewed, I would say, would be interviewing myself, but I'm going to give it a go. So, obviously I'm not in Sydney at the moment, I'm here in sunny Brisbane at my little production studio here, but when I made The Farm, I was in Sydney. I was studying at Afters at the Australian Film, Television and Radio School, studying directing there, and I was doing the certificate, the graduate certificate, which is a postgrad course. It used to be 1 year part-time, but they condensed it down to 6 months when I was there. And the culmination of the course was to write and direct a short film. We had 1 day to shoot it. We had an extremely limited budget. We only had money to pay for a casting director and 2 or 3 actors. So everything else was pretty much we had to wrangle for free or pay people with beer or favours or whatever else we could do. And I shot it on this camera right here. the Black Magic. It was that camera, my own camera, yeah, pretty much very sort of micro budget kind of stuff. Anyway, Will's asked me to talk about a few things here. Firstly, I guess the experience at Afters was a big part of making this film. I think one of the main things about going to Afters, or one of the things that you get out of it, apart from all of the incredible people that you meet, also either the people who you work with or the people who are teaching you there, is, I would say, what you learn at Afters is a big part of what you learn, or what I learned at Afters, was how to create process for creativity. I think people sort of think that, creativity is just something people have, or lightning strikes and people get inspiration or something. But all of the really good filmmakers have a really solid process. And so that was something which definitely a lot of that went into this film. We only had a day to shoot it. I just wanted to create a scene between two actors, just a really intense kind of scene. That it was all about the performance. I didn't want to do something which was like, I think with student films, sometimes people kind of get a bit carried away and try to do these big productions, when really what you're trying to do, every film is probably different, but I think what you try to do is to improve the writing and the performance. It's all about getting a really great performance. That's all that kind of, that's a large part of what matters, really. So that was the concept. It was two actors in a room and have them going at it, basically. I did probably about nine rewrites of the draft. It was about 13 pages long originally. It was too big for the one-day shoot. We just squeezed it down pretty much to one location and two guys across the table. And then a bunch of other shots and bits and pieces to make it look a bit more kind of a bit bigger than what it really was, I guess. In terms of my writing process, I'm actually working on a TV pilot at the moment. And you can see here, we've got all the index cards across the table, which is something, it's a way to have flexibility in your writing. I write everything out longhand, absolutely everything. So you can see here, so I've got a synopsis here, and I've just written sort of, everything just vomited onto a page, what I'm sort of wanting to do. And then I've got stuff like thought bubble, ideation, things, the way that a scene could possibly go. And I just work it around and around and around and just write everything out. Even in script format with the dialogue and the directions and everything. And that'll be my first draft. And then I'll cross dialogue out, cross things out, and then put it into the final draft writing software. So it's probably about it's 3 edits by the time it even gets into the computer. From there, just do a hell of a lot more rewrites until it's kind of at a place where I think it's, where it should be. From there, that's just getting it onto the page. From there, you're really looking to be collaborating with a whole bunch of other people that then will eventually make it what it is in the end. So with the farm, for example, we didn't have a lot of time for rehearsal, but we had an extra day, basically. We had 4 hours with the actors, and we just workshopped it a whole bunch of different ways. And with the two main actors that we had there, Steve and David, who are incredible actors, local actors from Sydney. you know, we're able to sort of make it something more than it was off the page. Shot it a whole bunch of different ways. We sort of, because we were pretty restricted in terms of time. You know, we didn't do it a heap of different ways. We sort of got that out of our system on, you know, through the rehearsal process. Yeah, shot the main scene in the morning and shot all the rest of it in the afternoon, and that was it. We were done in a day, and had a film. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, ask Will. Thanks. I'll see you later. Bye.
How long have you been in the paper?
20 years.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
Do we have to do this?
Yes. Do you believe in God?
No.
And you loved?
I don't know.
Do you have any regrets?
No.
Not today.
How have you found the farming?
Therapeutic. Interview with C.J. Pullman at his farm. The date is 12th October. Thomas Erickson is also present. Do you take advantage of people who have suffered traumatic experiences for your own financial gain?
No.
So what are these people doing here?
They choose to be here.
They give you money?
We, like all other charitable organisations, accept donations.
What do you use that money for?
Well, hopefully we will be self-sufficient soon, but right now we have to buy food.
I have sworn affidavits here from past members of your organisation that allege that you gained access to their bank accounts and used $1.3 million in total without their authorisation for such things as investments into internet businesses that have since failed.
George, I'm sure my lawyer can handle all complaints, and if any disputes end up in court, we'll get our story then.
So you don't deny this?
No comment.
Do you believe that you can perform miracles?
I believe I've cured incurable diseases.
You've brought people back from the dead.
No, I didn't.
Once again, I've got signed documents from others who have left the farm saying that you have made these claims.
What do you think?
I just write what I see. It doesn't matter what I think.
Therefore you do care. So don't be a coward and tell me what you think.
I think that you're a fucking fraud. That you prey on the weak so that you don't have to go back to that shitty IT job that you left. That's what I think.
That's hardly an impartial standpoint. What constitutes weak, George?
What?
These people, you call them weak.
Yeah, because Because everyone I've interviewed have all suffered some traumatic experience.
Traumatic experience? Like the loss of a family, for example.
Yes.
So don't those people deserve help?
Yes, yes, they fucking do.
It used to be normal to turn to God.
What?
It must be horrible, mustn't it? To lose someone close to you. A family member. What if you lost a child? Can you imagine the pain? And the guilt. And what if you were the cause? Do you miss Hannah, George? Do you feel guilty?
Fuck off. Get that camera out of my face. Get that camera out of my face, Thomas.
You need help.
Stop that. You just stop that. You fucking stop that.
How long have you been at the paper?
20 years.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
Do we have to do this?
Yes. When was the last time you spoke to your father?
A long time.
What was the last thing he said to you?
Nothing.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Are you loved? Do you have any regrets?
No.
Hello. Yeah, so as a couple of interesting films there, as a teaser for the next, not a feature film, next month, we're actually, we've had a lot of really interesting kind of short documentaries sent to us. And several years ago when the Japanese tsunami and earthquake occurred, Michael Condon was actually hired by the BBC to go into the worst affected areas right near Fukushima and make a documentary on it. So he's been nice enough to share the short version of that documentary with us, and we'll be filming that at the next one. Quite a sad documentary, but we'll pair that up with something a bit more light-hearted as well. Anyway, that's the end of our first bracket. The next bracket we'll be going into, as I said before, is people that are actually here with us tonight, and they'll get up and introduce their films. We'll start off with Katharine Rogers, and then we'll have two short films by Reuben Field sitting down the front here. But for now, we'd like to give you 15-20 minutes break so you can get another drink, eat your food, have a chat with your friends that you might not have seen all day or since the weekend. And we'll be back at about 8:05. So thank you very much, and please enjoy. Alright everyone, are you ready for bracket 2? Woo! Alright, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to do real rebels. We're going to... Everyone's seated? Yeah. Alright. We're actually going to show the short film first. It's a short film by Katharine Rogers. She's just down the back there. It's titled Crumb Catchers. It's a funny little comedy. And then she'll get up and talk about it, and you can ask her questions. So please think of some questions so she's not just standing here staring out into the crowd wishing. But anyway, to start bracket 2, please put your hands together for Crumb Catchers.
Ow! Ah, stop it! Ow! Get out! Get...
Whoa! I was saying I've been down there for days.
That's not possible.
Do you want to help me out of here?
Get... just...
Oh. 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 I can't believe you don't remember me.
Well, I will from now on.
Can I interest you in some lunch? That muffin really wasn't enough.
I'm sorry. I don't know who you are.
Well, I mean, lunch will give you a chance to find out. Come on.
It's great to hear some people laughing. If you could all please put your hands together and welcome Katharine up on stage. I'm sure she'll have a couple of sentences to say, and then if you could, you might want to pause that. That's a little brief teaser for Reuben's short coming up. Anyway, please come on, Katharine. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to put your hands up. Here we go, Katharine.
Hey, I was going to come up and at the start and say I made a film about boobs, but I didn't want to prime it too much, give too much away. Does anyone have any questions? No?
How did you come up with the idea?
Because it's a bit of a weird idea, yeah. Because I guess, I don't know, I'm a messy eater, I spill things down myself. I thought, wouldn't it be nice if you actually found other things instead of just crumbs down there? Why not make a film about that? Seemed very logical to me in my mind when I thought of it, so yeah.
How do you find actors casting?
Belinda was someone that I worked with at the MCA at the time. She went to NIDA. She doesn't work very much because she got very put off by the industry, but she was prepared to do it just for fun, and we just shot in a day in Victoria Park. So she did it just because it was going to be enjoyable for her to do it rather than, for any other reason really. So, yeah. Okay. Oh.
Were there any other ideas you had for whatever was in the top? That you didn't really
Yeah, there were a few other things. We didn't actually shoot any others on the day. We just shot those 3. But there were originally other things, a toy car. There were various other options. But this they were all I guess, the ones that ended up in the film about linked to romance or to femininity or to something like that. So it would sort of work better that it was those series of things, I think.
How does it fit into your life? Is it just a weekend instead of going out and having beers with friends or whatever, you just make short films? Or?
Well, that one was one that I made. I mean, I made that a few years ago. I've made some others now. It's not so much a hobby now. I do it more seriously, and I've made better films since that one. But we just shot that in a day for fun, and fits in if you want it to fit in, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Oh.
How long did the process take? So from scripting, do you storyboard it, or how long did that whole thing take?
I'd had the idea for a while. I guess I wrote the script fairly quickly because it was really short, but we rehearsed a couple of times just to get the chemistry with the 2 actors. And because it's a slightly weird thing where he has to be quite intimate with her, and I mean it would have looked really weird to anyone walking through Victoria Park because he was literally lying on the ground underneath her with his hand up, and so everyone was going past going what? But the actual shoot itself took a morning. We got there at 7 and we finished about 2 in the afternoon, which was already later than the DP wanted because the light changes at midday and he was freaking out about that. It took a while, the whole thing, because then I was having it edited by a friend and he was doing it for free. So I guess a couple of months all up by the time you do the whole process, Yeah.
Was the idea behind this just something spontaneous and intuitive, or about things being produced by a woman's body or clothing, or was there a deeper philosophical comment that you were trying to make there about what women's bodies can produce?
I actually don't think there was. People have read that into it, and I'm really fine with them reading that into it. But for me, it was just a sort of interesting idea, and I just thought it would be amusing and interesting, and to an extent, there was probably some of that when we started actually filming and stuff, but when I originally came up with the idea, it was just, I liked the idea. It was as simple as that. But yeah, I think it does have some of those connotations. Thank you.
Well, that worked really well. Great. As as some of you may know, this is actually only the second not a feature film, so we're still developing kind of how the night proceeds and all that, and it was a little experiment. See if you all do want to ask questions, and I'm glad to find out that you do, so we'll incorporate that a bit more as we in future not a feature films, and especially if our next guest wants to do it as well. But I'd like to invite up Reuben Field. It's his first time showing his short film at not a feature film, so please invite Reuben Field up.
Thanks, Will, for organising it. There's not enough of this kind of bizzo in Sydney, so yeah. Yeah, thank you. I can tell from the squeal. So, I'd made a lot of stuff before. I directed a lot of things, actors, before I sort of admitted to myself that I didn't actually know how to do it. And I'd been confronted multiple times by this situation where an actor gave an appalling performance. And I would, I don't think any of them are here. And the only thing I could think in my head was that was appalling. And I was trying to, I'd try and find the word. I didn't know what the hell to say to them to fix it. It's not working. So I've been wondering for about 10 years what bad acting is. I'm really curious what it is, why, obviously it's unrealistic, but why, exactly why, and what changes between that shit one which was appalling and that one which is pretty alright, and that one which is great, what exactly the difference is. And I wondered from the inside. So I'm in this film. I'm not an actor and I'm not trained, but I was really curious. So this is like 8 years after, 10 years after I started my career. I actually got in front of a camera for the first time to find out what it was all about, and it was hard. Acting is hard, and I did find out what bad acting is, well, pretty well. It's usually overacting. That's like doing too much. Well, on film anyway, I don't know about theatre, but when it's bad, it's usually because you're trying too hard, as you'll see. This is written by a very talented short fiction writer named Will Elliott. It was shot. I didn't want to waste anybody who I respected. I didn't want to waste anybody good's time on the crew. Again, no offense to the 2 or 3 people who were on the crew. But this was shot by my cousin, Jan. He was 16, 17 at the time. He was visiting as an exchange student from Switzerland. His English wasn't great, and he'd never used a camera before, so he did all right. And I won't intro Robber. So I've got 2 films here. This is called No Ordinary Ham. After this, just roll on to Robber, which is again me trying to get better at working with actors and performance, because I've been very technical focused and trying to make shit look good, and I got pretty good with editing and making things look alright, but I really didn't work on performance. So that's what both of these films are about. I'm not in the second one, which is good. Yeah, alright. I suppose I'll get up afterwards.
We'll leave the question time until afterwards. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, No Ordinary Ham.
Get down!
We have 3 days to eat this ham.
Yeah, my name isn't Boris, right? It's Jake. But Jimmy, he's never been too good with details. Sometimes Jimmy gets in these moods, when he's like that, it's best to stay cool. Just let him know you're on his team. Where'd you get that meat? Hey! What's cooking, Jimmy?
Cooking? Lock the door.
Why, you still haven't...
Lock it!
I'll get the back door. What'd you say about the ham? You touch it.
Yeah, I poked it one. There's no ordinary meat, Joe. I know what kind of pig this come off. More like a mammoth, like a sea monster.
Just a little. One section with no jiggles. But I get like a chili that's backside nonetheless.
Looked like he wanted to be left alone with it. So, definitely tell it. Can't say I felt real comfortable about the whole business.
You have to help me, Boris.
I'm sleeping, you fuck.
I can't stand to it. Just sit. Sit. Not talking.
She's taking me over, Boris. I need help.
How am I gonna help you? You wanna eat the damn meat or what? What's the story, Jim?
Jim, the ham. It's not a she. Yeah? It's not a she. He'd been up all night, I reckon. Don't know what got into him. He wasn't even drunk.
What do you want you to do?
I'm throwing this out, you watch.
No!
Fuck you, it's gone on long enough.
It can't be nothing but because
Maybe it's she, Jimmy, you insensitive brother. It's for your own good, mate.
Jesus. Damn! Get off the door! Come on!
Take the fucking meat! Just do what you gotta do, but leave me out of it, alright? What? Ham slices. He'd cut them in the shape of tears to try and make me feel guilty, I think. Well, they might have been quotation marks. I never actually found out.
Jimmy. Jimmy.
We must have stood out there for a good hour. He did what he had to do. And I was proud.
Remember the ham? Where'd you get that thing? Found it.
It's really great to see you, Jamie, dude.
You gotta come over more.
Yeah, man. Totally. Totally. It's so fucking good to see you guys, you know?
Music! Okay. What do you want to listen to?
I don't know, like some jazz or something?
Yes! Jazz! 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 Oh, party's getting started. Woo! I'm a trouble master!
Right. How's it going over there in that armchair? Yeah, all good? How's it going?
I'm just really stoned, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was weird.
just got totally spooked in there. Huh? There was a freaky noise outside the window. And I totally thought it was someone lurking outside, casing the house. Like a robber. Robber? Yeah. Or something. And I'm totally, like, had that, you know, that feeling when your heart is in your throat.
What was it really?
Well, I finally forced myself to look at the window. But it was nothing. Wow. I must have been like hallucinating or something. But you know, I did hear a sound, and it was like the sound of feet crunching leaves. The sound of like the nylon wind break up in the wind. And the creak of someone's weight being supported by the windowsill. And maybe the clunk of his boot as it hits the side of the house as he tried to hoist himself to get in.
That's pretty fucking specific, Eric. Like, you're kind of freaking me out. What if there is someone outside and he sees 3 totally stoned wusses and easy prey just wants to fucking come in and just fucking blast us and kill us, man? I don't fucking know, man.
I know, but no, it was probably just the wind or something outside. Like, it was just blowing the leaves and the branch fell down. And look, I just imagine the rest of the stuff in my head because I'm stoned.
The tree.
Yeah.
I'm just... Yeah. Sorry, dude. That would be fucked up, though. Like, if some crazy guy just came in yelling and stuff.
That'd be fucked up. Dude, I'm so maggot right now. I don't even know how I'd react. I think I'd just sit here and like just watch like he was in a movie or something. It'd be interesting to see what it'd be like.
You could start, like, a service or whatever, where you hire people to, like, go into stone people's houses and totally freak them out.
That's a cool idea, man. Wait, you'd be good at that.
Yeah?
Yeah, you should do it for us right now.
What? Pretend to be a robber?
Yeah, man. You should do it for us right now. Go out there and come in and be all scary and stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah! Alright. Whoa, I'm a dragon. Whoa. Alright. Yeah?
Yes. It'd be scary and stuff.
No, I won't, no way.
What the hell is taking him so long? Fuck. What if he's like... Just back another one of these.
Oi! Don't pull any shit or I'll cut your fucking throats! I swear to God, I will fucking kill you. I want everything of value. I want everything of value. I want it brought here right fucking now. I want it in this bag. Think something's funny, motherfucker? Huh? You think something's funny? Yeah. I'll fucking show you funny, huh? I'll fucking wipe that fucking smile off you. Stop your fucking crying, you skinny bitch.
Jamie, that hurt.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jamie, that hurt. fucking joke? Huh? You think it's a fucking joke? Huh?
Stop it!
It's not a fucking
Jay, please,
joke.
stop.
Where's the good fucking shit, huh? Where's the fucking money? I know you big weed types always got fucking money in the house, huh? Where the fuck is it? Where's the fucking money, huh? Where's the fucking money? It's your fucking girlfriend, huh? She's a pretty thing, huh? Oh, look at that! She's got no tits! I got bigger tits than this shit! Oh, hey guys, how's it fucking going? Calm down! Hey, can I find your tits? Hey, where the fuck are they? Hey, come on, let's just have a little fun!
Well, wow. It's been a while since I've been stoned, but stuff that. Get your questions ready. Reuben's going to answer what goes on in that mind to create such crazy stuff. Here we go.
So sorry that I forgot to mention that they're really disgusting and distressing films. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. But not everything I do is that messed up. It's just an unfortunate coincidence that the two most messed up films. Yeah, we're a pair there. Any questions?
What do you do with location-wise?
Facebook, basically. Anyone got a really shit house where I can, yeah, basically. Luckily that tends to work out. That worked out really well for Robber. Like, that was the most disgusting house I've ever been in. And we still, the camera makes things look so much better than they actually do. So we actually put like dirt and shit all over the walls to make that look even worse. But the house was feral, so that helped a lot. Yeah, Joe, the composer, ran off just before that film, but I thought he did a great job. He didn't. He's a musician, but he doesn't know how to make jazz music, so he did me a favour doing that in like a day.
The punch in No Ordinary Ham looked pretty real. Is that, how'd you pull that off?
There's a good short story about that punch. Talking about bad acting. When I was doing this action to pretend to punch him in the face, I guess it was like a hangover from childhood. I kept ruining the takes by going verbally saying noise. Yeah, so I was watching play. Did a couple, and then I was watching playback. I was like, oh God, I'm like making the noise with my mouth. Yeah. No, fake. It worked. Good sound effects. Yeah.
What were you shooting on?
First one was 5D, and the latter one was Sony S700 Metro screens, and a little bit of 300. Yeah. So in both cases, they were shot with, you know, neat, good quality interchangeable lenses, and yeah. First one was with almost no lighting, and the second one was with some lighting. Yeah.
What would you say the inspirations?
The inspirations, well, they were other people's stories in both cases, so I can't like take all the blame for what's in them, and they are verbatim, like just all the dialogue is straight out of the stories. But yeah, I just guess just good memories from my youth. Just trying to recreate. Yeah. I don't know. I'm weirdly attracted. My house is like, my wife, our house is not like that shit. But I guess on some subconscious level I want it to be. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Reuben. Yep. All right. The next one, please everyone invite, what is it? Dr. Ryan Wittingslow, PhD extraordinaire, to the stage. He's very embarrassed by that. But anyway, he's going to give us a little talk. Don't worry, it won't be a lecture like school, but I'm sure it'll be very interesting. Over to you, mate.
To be clear, my doctorate's not in this area, and I don't require you to call me doctor. But, so I'm starting... So I think so trying to borrow against the, you know, I guess the academic credibility Will gets from my doctorate. He said, oh, you know, why don't you present some old films at this thing that I do? And I was like, okay, sure. And he said they should all be significant and important. And I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can do that. So I picked 5 interesting ones. Some of them are really well known. So this one, if any of you know anything about movies, you should know about. Some of them less so, but hopefully they'll be sort of fun. This one is 1878. This is arguably the first movie ever made. Not really a movie, more like motion photography. So this was a guy by the name of Edward Muybridge. He was a bit of a madman, by all accounts. He changed his name, Edward, to a spelling Edward, which doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. He added a couple of extra A's, because he said it was more Celtic. Then he was challenged by so Leland Stanford, the guy who eventually founded Stanford University, had a running bet with a colleague that horses, when running, would lift all their legs off the ground. So that, you know, until this sort of series of photographic tests had been conducted, no one actually knew, because, you know, the human eye doesn't work that fast. The saccades cut in, and we don't have the sort of computational power to do that. And yeah, and the cameras were kind of a bit shitty. So there was no real way of testing one way or the other. So Muybridge, back in 1872, tried to do this. He failed because his camera sucked. Then he got distracted because his wife had an affair and then had a child, and then he went and killed, I think, his wife and the lover, and got arrested, and then he got acquitted, even though he admitted to the murder, then ran away to Guatemala for a bunch of years, over which time camera technology improved, and he came back in 1878 with a whole bunch of new ideas. I don't think he killed all these people, and said, hey, I've got a great idea how to record this horse thing. So he got a bunch of these cameras on a tripwire kind of scenario, and got this horse to run. And then what he did is he basically did a flip book. So this is the first, sort of, it's more like motion photography. It's the first flip book, kind of, but almost not cinema. So can we just get this one? It's only 16 seconds long. I'm just going to step down here. Play. Look at the horsey go! Yay! Leland Stanford won the bet. All of its hooves do go off the ground. 6 years too late. And Muybridge had to kill some people. But I don't know what the cost was worth it. Stop this one. This is not a porno, I promise. So I think what's interesting first is that from the very beginning, cinema and like film is there to establish certain kind of objective truths, right? So there's a sense in which a camera has an indexical relationship to the universe, like sort of capturing something that's actually there. And so with that sort of, you know, objective, the sort of facticity of the image, you can then sort of say things that are true about the world. And so that's how Leland Stanford won the bet. But sort of interesting is that within a couple of decades, people who are making movies are already starting to sort of fiddle with the edges, the sort of massaging, trying to work out what the limits are. And so over that period, you have like the very famous Lumiere brothers screening of the train going into the station, and supposedly the people ran away and whatever, which is not very exciting, but I didn't get that one, because I assume you've all seen it. But then this one, which is 1901, I believe, James Williamson, this is probably the first meta movie. So this is him sort of I guess the first attempt to examine the kind of thing that cinema is, like where the camera is, what kind of role it plays with regards to a subject. Again, it's quite short, but the next one will be longer. But yeah, go. So that's kind of cool, I think. So you've got the cameraman filming his own demise, and then someone comes along and films the cameraman being eaten. Like, it's not clear what the camera is doing there. So that's kind of neat. And so by 1902, which is the next film, which is a little bit longer, I'm going to sit down for this one. This one is very famous. Georges Méliès, Journey to the Moon. And this is kind of interesting because it's one of the first, well, it's not one of the first, but it's an early example of narrative cinema, but it doesn't have any of the formal tropes that we'd associate with cinema now. So it doesn't have close-ups, it doesn't have editing in any real sense. It's just like set on a theatre stage, and like a bunch of stuff happens, and there's some post-production. You know, it's a bunch of crazy phantasmagorical scenes. But it's this, I guess, one of the first films in which special effects shows up, and it's pretty neat for that fact. And I think it's also interesting to compare this to the one I'll be showing after the Méliès. But anyway, so enjoy.
Well, that's the end of tonight. Thank you very much for everyone coming. We'll post up in the next couple of days the dates for the next one. One last round. Thank you to Ryan for educating us in that. It was really fantastic. We're going to have nightmares about elephants, but other than that. Anyway, I believe the bar's open until 10. Is that correct? So please get a last drink in, enjoy, have a chat, and thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the night. Thank you.